Hi, it's Mariana, your resident 17 Style Pro, back with another amazing DIY project to get you inspired for prom season. We've partnered with Duct brand duct tape in celebration of their 12th annual Stuck at Prom Scholarship Contest. And today, I'm going to show you how to make this one-of-a-kind customizable clutch. With the surprise pattern lining and eye-catching embellishments, you can be sure no one else at prom will have a bag like yours. But first, a list of what you'll need to get started. 2 Duct brand duct tape sheets, 3 Duct brand duct tape rolls, a pair of scissors, sticky back Velcro hook and loop fasteners, embellishments like these flat back gems, and a hot glue gun and glue sticks. Choose duct tape colors and prints that best match your prom look or theme. Decide what colors or patterns you'd like for your clutch's front, back, side, ruffles, seams, and lining. I went with a black, silver, and hot pink color scheme and a skull and crossbone lining for an unexpected twist. Start with 2 duct tape sheets. One sheet is for the front panel of the bag and the other for the back. Feel free to match the front and back panels. I went with a chrome front panel and a black back panel. Trim about 1/3 of the length from the front panel. Peel off the paper lining from the back of the front panel. I find it easier to do this on a cutting or measuring mat, but you should be fine as long as you have a flat working surface. Make sure to keep the duct tape sheet flat as you go. Sticky side up, take your lining pattern and cut strips of duct tape that overhang the panel. Start with your first strip down the center. Sticky side to sticky side, and overlap each strip as you work your way out to either side of the front panel. Cover the entire sticky side of the front panel. Peel the front panel off the mat and trim the excess lining with your scissors for your finished front panel. To create the back panel, peel the paper backing off a full-size duct tape sheet and repeat the previous steps, lining the strips with duct tape. Now it's time to create the clutch's sides and bottom. I went with the fun zebra print as a contrasting pattern. Use your front panel as a measuring guide and cut strips of duct tape rolls for the sides and bottom. Measure the same lengths in the lining tape and stick together. I always like to err a little on the longer side so I can trim any extra off for an exact fit. Now we can begin assembling the bag. For this design, I chose neon pink tape to join all of the panels. This will contrast nicely with the zebra print. Cut strips of duct tape, always erring on the long side, that are long enough to seam each panel. Take each strip and using your hands, quickly rip them lengthwise down the middle to create thinner strips for the seams. Join the bottom edges of the front and back panels with your ripped hot pink duct tape strips and trim any extra so they are flush with the edges of the front and back panels. Do the same to connect the front and side panels. Fold the clutch's side panels up to create the corners. Cut and rip small pieces of duct tape to secure the corners and trim. Once you've secured both side panels, it's time to add ruffles. Take a long strip of duct tape. I'm choosing to use the zebra print pattern to match the sides and bottom of the bag. Cut a piece slightly longer than twice the length of the area that you want the ruffle to cover. Fold the strip's sticky sides together, but leave about 1/4 of an inch of the adhesive exposed along the edge. Beginning on one side, stick the ruffle to the bottom of the front flap of the clutch and fold pleats in approximately 1-inch increments until you reach the other side. Trim any extra and use a coordinating piece of seam tape to reinforce and flatten the first ruffle. Repeat the previous steps by placing a second ruffle above the first, overlapping slightly. Now secure the second ruffle's top edge with another ripped strip of duct tape. You can add as many ruffle layers as you like, but I stopped at 3 to leave room for additional embellishments. Cut a strip of Velcro sticky back hook and loop fastener and stick on to create a closure for the clutch. Now fold in half. Now you're free to embellish your clutch with any additional add-ons. You can add rosettes, buttons, or get creative with other shapes and layers made from duct tape sheets. I personally love all things sparkly, so I'm gluing on some flat back gems in various shapes and colors as my finishing touch. And that's it! You're all set to rock out at prom with your very own, one-of-a-kind customized clutch. And don't forget about Duct Tape Brand's Stuck at Prom Scholarship Contest, where students enter their best duct tape prom looks for the chance to win a $5,000 cash prize. That's $10,000 for the winning couple and another $5,000 for their school. Check it out at stuckatprom.com for more info.